Yo, what's going on everyone? It's your boy AlteredTech back again with a new video, and in this video I want to go over the portrait mode on the OnePlus 6T. Now, all the photos you're about to see in this video was shot with the OnePlus 6T, and so far let's go ahead and check out this photo. Now in this photo, now you do know that the secondary lens on the OnePlus 6T also acts as a depth sensor. So basically what it does is that it takes the object in focus and it analyzes the foreground and the object and is able to actually do a little cutout, so then it's able to blur the foreground, actually the background, so the object stays in focus and there's this artificial bokeh effect in the background, which looks pretty nice. Now you could probably zoom in and be a little picky and say that okay, there's some hair strands actually blurred out with the background, but overall it does a pretty good job. Her bag, her coat, everything seems in focus. It got, for the most part, most of her hair is in focus, and you're not really going to notice that because you're probably going to view this in your smartphone. You're probably going to share it on social media. I don't think there's anyone out there who's probably going to take this and frame it, or there's unless you want to be really picky, maybe you want to blow this up and make a poster, you might notice it. But for the most part, I'm very satisfied with the background blurred effect, or the portrait mode, whatever you want to call it. Now, things that I don't like, well, there's only one problem. The problem is that this camera tends to yellow the skin a little bit. There's this yellowing effect. Now, I've watched some other camera comparison videos, and I've noticed, like, even with the selfie camera, the skin tone is actually yellow. Now, I'm gonna call this the Donald Trump effect, because if I'm trying to edit this photo in post and I'm trying to add some kind of gorgeous we'll add perhaps a color gradient to the picture, or even apply a filter, that yellowing effect, that's definitely going to pop up, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm not exactly sure why OnePlus would actually incorporate this. Now let me just zoom in. Now her face is super orange, and now you go to her hands. Now her hands is a different tone, but if you look closely, there is some yellowing over here, and over here, and it looks like she just ate some Cheetos. So to me, it's definitely not cool, and if I actually want to get rid of this, that's going to be a pain in the butt. So OnePlus, if you could, I would appreciate if you could actually remove this effect. It's totally unnecessary, and actually it can ruin the picture, and there is no option on the device to actually take this feature off. I'm not even sure if it's a feature. I'm not even sure why it's even on this device. Now, I've tried using other camera softwares, even I would say like the Google Pixel camera or the Gcam software, and I did notice that skin tones tends to be a lot yellow. I'm not exactly sure why. So here's another shot. You want to zoom in a little bit. Now everything, it was pretty much cut out almost perfectly. It does a great, excellent job of cutting out the subject. Everything else is blurred off. Great, gorgeous picture. And so you can zoom in a little bit. You could definitely see there's some like an orange, that Donald Trump Cheeto effect over here. I don't know what else to call it. Should I call it the Cheetos effect? I don't really want to get into politics, so I'll just call it the Cheetos effect. So there, in this photo, this was unnecessary as well. Now you do have some added saturation over here, and for her face, it does seem a bit off color, and I don't really like it. And as you can see, her hands are totally a different tone based on her face, so it totally ruins the picture. So OnePlus, if you're going to pay attention, if you are paying attention, for the OnePlus 7, could you please remove that effect? It's totally unnecessary. Now in this photo, there is some yellowing effect. You could probably see it over here a little bit. Her hands, well, it's not too prominent, so it's not too bad. As for the depth sensor, now since she's standing behind a wall, it's going to be a little tricky for the camera to actually, it doesn't really make much sense to do a bokeh effect because the object behind her is not too far away. So the further you are from the background, the the better the bokeh. So for this photo, portrait mode probably wasn't the best choice. I probably would have just used a auto mode or pro mode. But let's go back to this photo over here. What am I going to do with this? To me this was a gorgeous shot. I love the shot. I applied a filter to the background, and I love this is perhaps one of my most favorite filters. But the thing that ruined this photo was this Cheeto effect. So some of you guys and girls are out there like, oh no, the picture's ruined. What could you do? What I could probably do is just take this selective tool. I'm using Affinity Photo. So what this tool does is I'm just going to try and grab her face if I can. Now this is totally unnecessary, and imagine you took say 20 portrait shots and you gotta do this with every single one of them. It's time consuming and it is annoying. So I mean, if you are a fan of this yellowing effect, I mean, okay, that's cool, but I believe we should have the option to turn it on and off. So let me just get this. Okay, so here we have, I added my favorite filter. This is the original photo. There's some slight yellowing. Now if you say, okay, nothing's wrong with her skin tone, let me remind you again, her hand, it's a completely different color than her face. And if you zoom in over here, there's some Cheeto effect on her fingers, which is not cool. So let's go back over here. So I'm going to try and fix this. So let's go ahead. Let me find. I know there's probably some other ways I could do this as well, but I'm just going to, try to change the vibrance. So I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. So here we go. This is a nice color. It still doesn't match her fingers, but now she looks a bit too pale. Okay, I think that's a nice touch up. So okay, so this is with the edits, and before it was like this, before and after. Now with the hands, I'm not exactly sure if I could actually, let me try the hands as well. The Cheeto effect. Alright, so for the hands, let me see. Vibrant. Oh crap, I must have messed up somewhere. Alright, so here is the edited photo. I tried to do my best to get that orange crap out the way. So okay, so we still have some over here. I missed a couple spots, so I'm gonna have to zoom in and carefully get rid of that orange. You know what, I'm actually covering over it, shouldn't. So there you have it, the OnePlus 6T portrait mode. For the cutouts, does a really damn good job. It's just for this little part, the face, the yellowing of the face. It really ruins some of the pictures, and sometimes you could barely notice it, and other times you could definitely notice it. So OnePlus, could you please leave the option for us to change the yellowing effect? I would really appreciate it. This is AlteredTech signing out. If any questions or comments, or if you want any tips on taking better portraits on your OnePlus 6T, let me know and I'll devise a video just for you guys. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. I know today's the NBA deadline, so there's a lot of trades coming out. I see Toronto did a good job. All right, going off track. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. Take care. Peace. Hit me up. Bye.